technically skilled DPS players, and I think you could run something like a sniper. The Tracer really pops off here. I think Checkmate's gonna have a field day.
Gonna have fun. If they haven't already made the last two maps their playground, they're gonna definitely do it here too. Rupal, go Ryan. I could have. No! I love the banter that we get to also see from chat through all the matches so far. Get to see the mentality go into these matches, because, you know, Vulcan, you know, he's still laughing. Like how the Vegas internal, sometimes they look deflated, but other times they try to just keep their mental in check. And as competitors, you know, you got nerves on the line. You have something to prove out here. And when you have a rough start to the season, it could really set you up for this first stage, Nagra.
Well, I mean, when you look at the opponents that Vegas have had, I don't know if we expected anything else, right? They're playing against the Florida Mayhem now that had an incredible showing in the Pro-Am and also in their very first match of the season. And then you look at the other opponent that they had, which was the Washington Justice, and you're going up against Alpha Yi? Like, that's rough right there. Mir also putting on such a great show in that tank role. So I think that when you look at just the power level of the teams that they faced so far, maybe there is some room for Vegas to not just turn it around, but also find a win later on. And I love the look that we're seeing from Vegas, because this is something else that I feel like may actually play into their strengths, where Vulcan known for his Sigma, MaltheL known for his Genji. Unfortunately, Dove has been known for the Widowmaker, but Merit has some other things to say about that.
It's just, what do you do against Merit and Checkmate? Let's not forget, like, yeah, we're not seeing him so far in the series, but Sauna's also there, and he's freaking insane. Merit gets another hit onto Lukemino. Backline completely wiped out from the Eternal. Vulcan's gonna meet them right back in the spawn. They're having fun sticking with the Lifeweaver this third map around, but since the Florida Mayhem are starting on the attack, Necra, it still is some extra time that Florida Mayhem could work into this, so it may not set the records, but at least for them, they're still looking to continue that speed run.
Yeah, we'll see how the momentum continues to flow through this first point and into the second, as someone's just going to go ahead and body block here. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back in and contest. Vegas are certainly going to try, but they're a little bit split up right now as MaltheL's playing on the high ground and also trying to push back Florida Mayhem.
Oh my, somebody save MaltheL. They were bullied yesterday by Alpha Yi. Mara is doing the same now this third map around. Someone's about to get Rabbinic Flux. Rupal does get taken out. You see that happening usually with the Lifeweaver. So big here. Backline out from the Mayhem. But Mary is a problem that continues to clear out the rest of the Eternal. The payload does get to that first point. Look at Merritt's face.
Yeah,
he's so happy. He's having fun.
Oh, he's feeling himself right now. That's exactly what you want to see coming out from a Widowmaker, and that's a lot of momentum that he can really capitalize on moving into the Foundry. Seeing a little bit of a changeover. Checkmate now just kind of keeping on a Sombra to work towards that EMP, but with the sight lines activated here for Florida, Vegas don't want to peek any of this right now. Look at that, was such an easy headshot for Merit.
No, if you're gonna cross through Merit's line of sight, and you already know that infrared sight is coming in, I mean, at that point, just put down the immortality field. This is crazy. Payload has not stopped here, by the way. Merit is still holding forward, still finding so many of his picks. He's found 9 Elans, by the way. So far, make it 10 onto Dove. He's crazy, man. Over 2.3k damage. Just to let you know, nobody else in the entire DPS lineup in this match so far has even hit 1k yet.
Merit is just going to keep kind of attacking the high ground, because who can you really send on the Vegas Eternal to go contest him? Maybe MaltheL, but not when you're going to be on an EMP. Oh, MaltheL does get the pick. There you go.
Immortality field from Lukemino really helped out the Eternal. Tree of Life out. No picks coming in, minus that Lukemino pick at the very end from Checkmate. But Vegas Eternal seeing some signs of life here on this high ground. They're getting rid of the Tree of Life as it just wastes time here. Now Vegas Eternal could take that defensive position.
Oh, that was really great from Vegas. MaltheL ended up taking out Merit. No more Widowmaker here, as you're going to see Hanzo be able to contend with Vulcan's Sigma Shield just a little bit better. But Rupal's going to stick to the Lifeweaver, maybe build up to another Tree of Life. It felt like that Tree of Life was a little bit lackluster, only because the rest of the members of Florida Mayhem weren't there. But, what?
Oh my.
Merit, hello? He's not even on the Widowmaker!
Merit has met Alpha Yi in jail. Somebody help save him, because he's been bullying the rest of the Vegas Eternal. I'm sorry. This is Florida Mayhem's cleaning out another fight, and at least they're still sticking to the Lifeweaver. You gotta give them that dedication as Duff is trying to contest the payload, forced to call in the recall. Now it's up to MaltheL to see what he can get cooking, but they're just disengaging here. They're gonna give the second point over to Florida Mayhem.
They can't move in only because someone is body blocking the doorway. That Sigma Shield is super powerful in this area of the map, just knowing that you were able to cut off all of those routes of
no!
But
my
the
goodness.
amplification matrix on top of the tree?
On the pedal platform, are you kidding me? Merit finding Lukemino, Vulcan going down. If it isn't a Widow, that's the problem. Here comes the Hanzo for Merit to make a statement. He died once, by the way, so far. He's having so much fun. The player camps didn't already give that away.
One death was by MaltheL's hands. We still have yet to see the Dragon Blade. I think that Vegas need to really start to approach these fights a little bit with more haste or more pep in their step. There's the blade now.
What do you got in store for us? Oh my gosh.
Oh, the pull for the Lifeweaver.
Life grip. Yeah. Get back over here. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Don't even give them the one kill with the blade. Also forced to just disengage around the next corner. The Gravitic Flux. Oh. What? All right. Well, doesn't take anybody up from the Florida Mayhem. Gravitic Flux not getting that impact at all. Rakattack now calling in the rally. Dove trying to get into position with this Pulse Bomb. Trying to call out Rupal. The Immortality Field was called in, helping out Rupal and allowing him to put down that tree of life. Checkmate also about to get that blade. No stick on the Pulse Bomb here too. While Dove is trying to harass their backline, trying to poke them, the rest of the Florida Mayhem just see it as like a fly that they don't even have to give attention to off to the other side. And Matrix was called in from Lukemino, so that does buy in some space here for the Florida Mayhem to respect.
Fighting in a small room, though, I feel like you wouldn't want to be in a small room with someone like Chorong, especially when you got the amplification matrix there and Checkmate going crazy.
Checkmate showing MaltheL what the blade can do the moment they cross that next corner. Dove going down right afterwards. Merit cleaning up the DPS lineup. Another cleanup here for the Florida Mayhem. So they're literally going to try to hug their spawn once again.
That's how you gotta play it, though. If you're Florida and you want to try to close out the map, you need to play up towards the spawn doors. Pedal platform doesn't hold any value right now, just for anybody to take advantage of that, but nice focus fire there onto Vulcan may be able to help keep up this attack push for Florida.
Vulcan trying his best here on the Sigma. The Gravitic Flux from someone's gonna send him all the way high up. They're gonna clean him up. Chorong finding Rakattack. This is with Rupal still sticking to the Lifeweaver, by the way, as they get the payload all the way to the finishing point here, Necra. Literally unstoppable, just minus that one fight that we saw Vegas Eternal take in that second point right by the stairs to the right.
I want to call out something really cool that we saw there, actually, with the Lifeweaver. So we ended up seeing someone on the Sigma try to go for that Gravitic Flux at the very end of the map. But what we ended up seeing as well is the life grip there from Rupal to pull him away to set him up for that Gravitic Flux just a little bit better to make sure it was going to land on point. So it gave him a better vantage point to lay that down and ultimately sealed up that first attack push here for Florida. That was really cool. This is why I'm excited to see more Lifeweaver, because we can see really neat interactions like that.
I don't want to see that come out from the game, so that I have to play in my own time, alright?
No.
Florida Mayhem are having the time of their life. Don't do this to us, guys. The griefing from Life Grip is just another level as we take a look at the highlights from Merit. Merit is just trying to finish the speed run of this series. He says, all right, you know, I'm ready to study some VODs, get ready for next week. They got 2 more weeks to go, but man, Merit, this map around, I mean, he's obviously looked fantastic with Checkmate throughout the entire series, but this specific map, Necro, he's got 22 elims under his belt, 18 final blows, and only 1 death when he was on that Widow.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's actually just so disgusting, and why Merit is touted as one of the best DPS in the league. Showing off a lot of that prowess there on the Widowmaker, the Hanzo. These sniper picks are really, really fun for him to play. And you'll see him just put a lot of concentration in trying to make sure that he can beef up that number.
Right, MaltheL trying to take a different off angle. I didn't get that first pick originally onto Rupal. Chorong just letting him know. Won't be able to harass us right through that short doorway. Like the different off angles that we're still seeing here from Merit. Knows nobody's gonna check him here. Guess the only person could be Dove if he even could get close enough. Like the attempts now coming in. They're so fixated on Florida Mayhem taking control of the hybrid of the high ground and around that next corner on the low ground while Chorong still finds Dove. That's gonna still leave Merit unchecked.
Merit's just able to have so much space to work with. Someone is going to go in with the Winston as well, just to kind of keep getting that Tesla cannon damage down. Maybe that's enough to soften up the target for Merit to be able to take them out at the end of the day. The pedal platform. It's like an elevator here for someone to just walk up to the high grounds. That's so cool.
What are stairs? We don't need that here.
Nah,
that little
doesn't
side
even
room.
need a cooldown. Just use the jump up on the platform.
Won't waste any frames just walking up those stairs. Merit repositioning here as that sight on the rest of the Vegas Eternal. There comes Dove, finally finding an opportunity to try to check Merit. Let's see if he even has the ability to try to contest him, as now someone's going to activate the Primal, separate Lukemino from the rest of his team after he popped in the Ant Matrix. Window going to waste here, though. Rakattack does have that rally. Eternal are down. Lukemino and Vulcan's falling incredibly low. Won't be able to survive the onslaught of damage that Checkmate is putting down. They do trade that, though, for someone. But Checkmate, another player that we have to call out who's only died once. So both Checkmate and Merit have just been on a different level. And honestly, Necra, it's so difficult to sugarcoat this. This Vegas Eternal are just looking tragic to figure out some answers.
It's just tough when you're going up against a backline that can have that survivability for the team. Like both Chorong and Rupal are putting in an incredible amount of healing, and also sometimes the best defense is going to be the best offense here. But it doesn't mean that Vegas Eternal aren't still close to capturing this first point and at least delaying going into this next one. Like, look at the pushback here. Vegas aren't out of this one just yet. They need to just keep pushing this cart forward.
Right on the engine momentum that they could possibly buy off from this. Lukemino able to use a swift step to get right back to safety, but in the hands of Checkmate. Serve on a silver platter as someone making a swap over to that Junker Queen now. Merit also made the swap right back over to the Hanzo after he died on the Widow. Second death, and we've seen him swap every time he has died between the Widow and Hanzo. Love to see it out here. Checkmate is about to have that blade here too, Necra.
Yeah, the blades can be really powerful here, especially when you have everybody up against the Tree of Life. Look at all these dash resets that you could get here for Checkmate. Everybody trying to kite around that damage.
Saw the Dragon says, don't worry, I'll take a different approach here. They did lose out on Merit again. Checkmate with the blade is able to clean up Rakattack. That Jagged Blade is going to be able to find MaltheL. It does cost someone's life. Someone will be able to get right back in with the Rampage for this next upcoming fight. The Florida Mayhem, with Checkmate still alive, is still the problem. Ooh, I like the repositioning on that pedal platform. I like the different cheeky plays that you can try to go for Lifeweaver. Big brain sometimes here as Vulcan has finally found control over this high ground.
Vulcan being able to move forward as well just denies a lot of space here for Florida to work with. Merit actually gets taken really low. So you need to see a little bit more pressure coming through, not only from the Hanzo, from MaltheL, but also just from Vulcan continuing to make those steps forward.
Checkmate again, still being able to check, not just in front of him to contest Vulcan, but over to the side. Dove isolating Chorong, lose out on Checkmate here too. Merit answering back with Dove. That's 3 down for the Florida Mayhem. Some signs of life here from the Vegas Eternal, and it's not the Tree of Life here, but it is the life that they do need to try to round that next corner for the second point.
Might be able to capture the second point. Look at Vegas just being able to capitalize on a lot of this space, and it goes back to how good Vegas Eternal's players are on these specific heroes. You've seen a lot of Brigida there from Rakattack, unfortunately just going to fall into the Dragon Strike, so it feels really unfortunate there.
Somebody save Vulcan, he's in trouble. Oh, the Rampage finds Vulcan, finds MaltheL. The rush coming in from Lukemino to help them out again. Another huge anti coming in from Chorong. It lands into MaltheL and Rakattack. They do lose out in Vulcan at the very beginning of that fight here, so the number advantage now swap right back over to Mayhem's favor after losing out on Rupal.
Yeah, it was really, like, I feel like Vegas Eternal there were set up for being able to use a couple more ultimates. Unfortunately, Rakattack got bopped a little bit too early there by the Hanzo Dragon Strike from Merit, and then the Kitsune Rush layered in on top of that. I would have loved to see it be saved here just so they could approach the point a little bit faster with the movement speed, not even necessarily getting the attack speed going for them. But see Florida Mayhem being able to come back on this defense and just take this high ground positioning, which will be really difficult for Vegas to break through right now, but the rally may help.
Look to see if they could even contest Merritt, who is playing the LOS really nicely on top of those tanks. Dub does get that stick onto Chorong. Trio of Life called in too. Merritt's going to be able to get that healing out from it, but it's not going to be enough to save Checkmate, who had that blade right before he died. Someone now also trying to take that different off angle. Vegas Eternal able to at least find the opportunity to take advantage of Florida Mayhem, having some fun. The Lifeweaver pool, and then Merritt finding MaltheL here too. The nano boost coming in from Chorong right before he died onto someone. They don't want to give the second point here to the Vegas Eternal. Literally 50 meters out as Checkmate activates the blade. Less than 10 seconds now on the clock for Vegas Eternal to try to get this payload moving.
They do have the numbers advantage right now with the Kitsune Rush being layered down. Someone may be able to get taken out of this fight, and there's the point capture.
Hey. Love to see it. Rakattack says, I'll take care of it myself. Gets that follow-up with Lukemino. Pull Merritt out as Dove, at least at the very end, has been able to find these pulse bomb kills, Necra. And now they'll be able to clear that next corner, try to take control over that extra space right by that bridge.
This is a little bit more life we've seen out of Vegas. And this is really, really promising here when you look at the team overall heading into future weeks of the Overwatch League. I mean, Merritt's still going to go ahead and play the Widowmaker here and try to stop this map and finish the series. But Vegas, they're still able to lean into some of their strengths as individual players, knowing that their hero pool favors some of the choices that they've made here today with this composition.
Comes a rally called in from Rakattack. The flex also, but Dove gets called out by Chorong. Look like that Mayhem are also trying to control this bridge area by trying to disengage around the next corner. I like the call from Vegas Eternal after losing out on Dove. Didn't want to risk trickling in, staggering through as Dove also makes the swap over to the Widow. Something common that you see on this third point of Havana Necra, since you have those open sight lines that Merritt is taking advantage of.
Yeah, and how do you approach the nest? You can't really attack Merritt from there unless you try to go in for something like a deflect, but they've switched off of that to have the double sniper just to be able to have the pick potential.
Rush called in, less than 5 seconds, trickling down, overtime activated now. With the rest of the Vegas Eternal taking advantage of the rush, just move forward. Look who's right underneath them, though. It's Checkmate who's about to get the blade. The Tree of Life called in from Rupal. Tron also has that Nano Blade ready to just put onto Checkmate here. May not even have to. Checkmate does get pulled right back in to put him right back into position, but Dove finding Checkmate. Love the player cam reactions coming in from Checkmate despite that. Dove tries to get onto the high ground and try to contest Spirit, who goes to the repositioning. But overtime still activated. Florida Mayhem playing a little split apart.
They are, and they're getting punished for it. Vegas, this is a great opportunity to strike. They just have to make sure that they can follow up right now. You don't want to get Merritt unchecked in the back line, and Checkmate now going in for a Dragon Blade.
Lost out on Merritt. Eternal have the advantage. Sauna also right there. Huge rampage finding 4, costing MaltheL his life. Dove meeting it right back in the spawn. Checkmate goes crazy. Lukemino's about to meet them too. Vulcan has to look to his back. This is a problem. Overtime trickling away as nobody left from the Vegas Eternal to stay on that payload. Some experiments pulled out from the Florida Mayhem and the Lifeweaver. I like to see the confidence coming in from Merritt and Checkmate. Not going to be enough, though, for the Vegas Eternal to do their best to at least pull something off and denying us a speedrun.